Breathing is an automatic function of our bodies, but often gets negatively affected by our poor habits of body use. And many people feel that they would like to improve their breathing. In this video, I'll show you how to recognize some of the common bad habits in breathing so that you can choose to prevent them and allow better breathing patterns to be restored. I'm Pete Robinson from movementandposture.com. I teach Alexander Technique to individuals, groups and organisations, both online and in the real world. Each Sunday I upload a new YouTube video based on questions that I've been asked, so if you're interested in finding out more, subscribe and ding the notification bell. When our breathing is happening naturally and not being affected by habits, the main movement that will be visible is one of the whole rib cage expanding and contracting. As we make an out-breath, our ribs contract together. You'll notice a slight inward movement of the abdomen. The out-breath is active and uses muscular effort to expel the air and creates a partial vacuum in the lungs, so that when you allow the air to return, the ribs spring outwards again and the air drops back into the lungs. With the in-breath, you'll notice a slight outward movement of the abdomen. For this natural way of breathing to function fully, your general body use needs to be in good shape. It's impossible to breathe well if you're hunched over and slumped or holding yourself tightly into a posture. If you need more help with that kind of thing, then maybe watch some of the videos linked to above now. So first, let's try to get a better awareness of the natural movement of the body when breathing is happening. Bring the backs of your fingers to the sides of your ribs and then notice the movement as we make an out-breath. We'll make quite a strong out-breath so that the movement becomes easier to perceive. Watch out for any habits of tightening up as you make the out-breath and just allow the breath to return. Don't try to help it. So one of the bad habits that people develop with breathing is to hold the ribs stiffly and breathe by dragging the whole rib cage up and down, a bit like this. As you can imagine, this takes a lot more effort, and if you bring attention to your neck and upper back, you'd feel that it uses a lot of stiffness and tension here too. Have a go at experiencing this way of breathing. Place your palms on the front of your torso, stiffen your ribs, and breathe by dragging the rib cage up and down. Hopefully you'll be able to see that this isn't a great breathing method. Another bad habit that people develop with breathing is to try to use abdominal breathing. This is a slightly strange idea, as of course the lungs aren't actually in the abdomen. The idea of abdominal or belly breathing has been useful to help people who habitually take shallow breaths, but the danger is that by interfering with the natural movement of breathing, by pushing the belly in and out, you can end up fixing the ribs in place so that the breathing remains shallow and forced. Try to experience this type of breathing by again placing the backs of your hands on your ribs and then push your belly in and out as you breathe. You may notice that the ribs don't feel as mobile as they did before, and that the movement of the belly isn't really affecting the breathing that much. So assuming you're allowing breathing to happen using a free movement of the ribs, another habit to be aware of is that of sucking or sniffing air in on the in-breath. When breathing is working well, the in-breath is very quiet. As soon as we try to force air into our bodies, our breath will become noisy. The noise is a symptom of the tension you're using to breathe and can be really distracting if your speech is punctuated with noisy in-breaths. A really nice way to experience the freedom and openness of a quiet in-breath is to imagine that you're smelling a rose. This encourages to open the airways fully and breaks the habit of gasping air in. Give it a try. Make a few out-breaths with noisy sniffing in-breaths. Then, when you get to the end of an out-breath, wait for the air to return and imagine that you are smelling a rose. The final habit I'd like to bring your attention to is related to the last one, and it's the feeling that you have to snatch a breath before speaking. We often underestimate how much air we have in our lungs, and many people have the habit of constantly snatching in air before they speak, regardless of whether they need to or not. An interesting experiment to help break this habit is to start speaking after an out breath. I'm going to notice my breath coming in and out, and after an out breath, I'm going to count out loud until I almost run out of air. Then seal my lips and allow the air to return. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You may surprise yourself with how much air you still have available to you, and this can really help develop the confidence to speak without having to gasp for air. So there are a few ideas and experiments to increase your awareness of any interference with your natural breathing. I hope you found them useful. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them below. If you're interested in improving your breathing, then remember that the quality of your breathing is really dependent on the way that you use your whole self. So work on improving your general posture and movements and balance, as well as doing specific breath work. There are loads of videos on this channel which may help, and as always, I highly recommend you work with a qualified Alexander Technique teacher if you get the chance. Let me know if there are any other topics you'd like me to cover, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.